Hey guys, Tasman Hart here. Well, guys, the time has finally come. We're almost at the end of the year. We're almost at the end of 2025, and the fall season is just about to begin. So, right now today, I'm gonna be doing my top five most anticipated films of fall 2025. And this is the first time I'm going to be doing the anticipated list. There maybe I may do some more, maybe in the future, but we'll see. But yeah, but right now, this is now my list is going to be this is now my top five most anticipated films of fall of 2025, and this will be the last top five. And this is also like the third and final top five list. First, I did my top five most hated films of the 2020s decade. Second, I did my top five favorite films of the 2020s decade. And third and final one, and this is very different. I'm going to be doing for today my top five most anticipated films of fall of 2025. Now, I never thought I was going to do this, but knowing the movies are coming out, I decided, you know what, why not? Because there have been several movies I am really looking forward to that I do think that has a lot of potential that these movies could turn out to be really great. And yeah, so to let you guys know, I promise maybe when I do my next videos, my ceiling fan will be turned off so it won't be distracted with the bright light on. So right now my head is gonna be covered, so that way y'all guys won't be distracted. Okay. So right now, yeah, I cannot believe we're almost at the end of the year, guys. It's 2025 has been an interesting year. Um, but knowing the summer's now done, right now I'm gonna do my top five most anticipated films of fall of 2025. Now, guys, keep in mind, my list is not gonna be the same as yours. Okay, we all have different opinions. So if you disagree what movies are on this list, that's perfectly okay. Let's just try to have fun and let's try to respect people's opinions, okay? And here's the thing, I am really looking forward to all these movies. Now, I'm not saying all these movies are going to be the best movies of the year. These movies could turn out to be either good or could turn out to be okay or just bad or anything like that. But I think these movies do have a lot of promise. So, and that is why I am going to be doing for my top five. And I was originally going to do top 10, but you know what? Knowing there's not really a huge amount of movies, I'm going to do top five instead. So, but this fall season has a lot of promise. So, it could be really interesting. I'm not expecting anything to be great or to be the best season ever for movies. I just only wanted to see the season to be really, really good for movies, and that's all I needed. So, but now we're gonna get to my top five most anticipated films of fall of 2025. And before we get to the top five list, I got my honorable mentions. And as much as I am really excited for these movies, they never make my list. So before we get to the top five, let's go to my honorable mentions. And my honorable mentions I got for movies I'm on the list is my honorable mentions are the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants, Good Fortune, Shelby Oaks, Sisu Road to Revenge, Tron Ares. Didn't make my top five list. It could have. One Battle After Another, and the last two movies that is very close to make my top five list. Wake Up Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery, and last but not least, Wicked for Good. I'm excited for all these movies. I'm excited. And I know the Wake Me Up Dead, A Knives Out Mystery, and Wicked for Good, maybe a lot of people's most anticipated. They for me, they are, but they're never make my list. And here's the thing. All these movies I am really excited for, and I do think these movies could turn out to be really good. They just never make my top five lists. But, without further ado, let's get to my top five most anticipated films of fall of 2025. And start off My number five. All right. My number five. Frankenstein. Yep, Frankenstein. The new film directed by Gwendol del Toro, so I can pronounce his name. And yeah, seeing the trailers looks really good. No wonder that Del Toro is going to do his own version of Frankenstein, this adaptation of Frankenstein. I think he's perfect to direct a Frankenstein adaptation. I think seeing the trailers, it looks really great. Production values, costume designs look stunning. The cast, like Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein, think is a great choice. And I know this movie's gonna be on Netflix, and it says it's coming out like I believe October, November, whichever. It says November 7th, but it might be October because last time I checked it was October, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. I think this movie looks like it could turn out to be fantastic. I think Del Toro made some really unique films like Blade 2, yeah, the Hellboy films, really great. Pan's Labyrinth, which I still need to see, and also the Shape of Water, I still need to see, but I heard great things about it, and of course Pacific Rim and many other films. I mean, this guy has makes a lot of unique films. And I still need to see that Pinocchio animated film from 2022. I still need to watch that before I get around and watch this movie. But this movie looks very interesting. The cinematography looks fantastic. And I'm really curious about how well they're going to do with the Frankenstein monster. And yeah, again, this movie could turn out to be great. And as long as if Del Toro has a lot of effort put in to this story, maybe we could get something special. So yeah, my number five is Frankenstein, but there's four more movies I'm looking forward to the most. But still, I think it looks really great. So yeah, Frankenstein is my number five. My number four. All right, my number four. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see this one. Yep, The Running Man, which is the new Edgar Wright film. Yep, The Running Man. Um, Seeing the trailers looks this movie looks awesome. Like I love the cast. Glenn Powell looks like he's gonna be ready to play the role, and Josh Brolin and many other cast members looks fantastic. And it's a dystopian sci-fi movie, and I love sci-fi. It's my favorite genre of films, and yeah, this movie actually looks really great, and of course it comes out November 7th, and Edgar Wright made some really great films. Of course, the Cornetto trilogy, and he also directed like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Baby Driver, many other films. He's a great director, and knowing he's going to be doing the Running Man movie, I can't wait to see it and see after seeing the trailers. And I haven't seen the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I heard really good things about it. And I know this is a remake, yeah, but something tells me it's not really technically a remake. It's actually could be a lot like the book that's based. And this movie is based on the Running Man. The Running Man is actually based on the Stephen King novel. Yeah, it's based on the novel by Stephen King, and I was like, really interesting. So I have a feeling that this new one's going to be a lot more faithful to the book and not going to be like the original. Which you know what, I love the idea because remakes don't really always work when it's a remake because I'm not really all for remakes. Sometimes here's the thing, I prefer remakes when it's different than the original and also leave the original alone. And yeah, it's just like I really don't really like remakes and overusing remakes when it's unnecessary. Like just do it for like money. But with this one, it doesn't look like it. It actually looks like it's gonna be a lot like the book, which I never read the book, but seeing his trailers of this and seeing all the action, the comedy, and how it takes place in a dystopian future, I'm excited. Yeah, this movie looks like it could be awesome, and and seeing the sound, hearing the songs that played for the trailer, I think it fits. It does get me excited to see a movie. So yeah, my number four is The Running Man, and Edgar Wright, you're the man. I hope you make something great, man. All right, my number three. Okay, my number three, two words, or two of the big one, or three of the big ones. All right, my number three. Give me a minute, guys. All right, there we go. All right, my number three. My number three, and of course it's an animated film. My number three, Zootopia 2. Yep, Zootopia 2. Now, of course, I love the verse Zootopia. I think it's one of my favorite modern Disney films right now in recent years. I think it's fantastic, and no one. I've been waiting for a sequel for like 7 years, and now we can all agree that Disney animation's not the best with sequels, and not only that, but they're not always have the best track record. Like with the sequels they made, was Wreck-It Ralph 2 was fine. It could have been great. Frozen 2 was good but not great. And Moana 2, I didn't mind Moana 2, but I do agree it was a big of a step down to the first movie. But I was pretty skeptical about Zootopia 2. However, knowing Jared Bush and Brian Howard, who worked with Disney Animation for a long time, had their hands on it. Now I don't know if it happens, if it's gonna happen or not, but it looked like it could turn out to be really, really, really great. And seeing the teaser and the trailers, I'm excited. Like the animation looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps look like they have great dynamics together, buddy duos, and and it has some really good comedy, and it looks like this movie could be really charming. And yeah, and this is from the same people that did the first film, and this movie comes out November 26th. Uh, so I don't know how it'll turn out. I don't know much about the story, but all I can say is that I think this movie looks fantastic. The animation looks very very beautiful. And it does look really funny. It could be a lot of fun. It could be a really charming sequel, and I don't know if it will be as good as the first film or even better than the first film, but we'll see how it turns out. But knowing that Disney Animation is not really always the best with their sequels these days, I'm really hoping they can turn out to be amazing. So hopefully this movie could turn out to be really great, because the trailers so far has been really good. And yeah, Zootopia 2, it's my number three most. So yeah, really looking forward to see it. Oh yeah, and the character Gary the snake actually looks like it could be a fun character. So yeah, but yeah, my number three is Zootopia 2. All right, my number two. All right, my number two. Hang on. All right, there we go. All right, my number two is Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands. Yeah, the trailers look so good. Like this movie looks awesome. Like, of course, I like the Predator movies. Like the original is one of the greatest action films ever made, and then the sequels, well, haven't been as good as the original. And Prey, I still need to see leading up to this. And then I also still need to see Predator Killer to Killers, which is the animated film. But I heard that these two movies are made by the same filmmaker. That's gonna be directing this new film, Predator Badlands, and I think the action looks really great, and the makeup design of the Predator looks really great, and of course Ellen Fanning, who I believe it's Dakota Fanning's sister. Um, I think it looks like she's gonna do a great job, and I'm really curious about how the story's gonna go. And it's gonna be like about the young Predator. It might not be the same Predator, I don't know, but yeah, seeing the trailers for this, I'm actually really excited. Of course, there is a really interesting story to tell. So overall, I'm ready for some more Predator, and yeah, and I'm really maybe in the future we could get Aliens versus Predator movie in the future, like because Alien Romulus was really good, and this looks like it could have potential to be great. So if they do like an Aliens versus Predator movie in the future, maybe do it right, we could get some really awesome Alien and Predator franchise. So yeah, and seeing the trailers for Predator Badlands look like it could be a lot of fun. It could be really awesome, great, awesome, entertaining. Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's my number two. And we get to my number one, and I'm pretty sure that you guys may want to ask me, am I a fan of this franchise? And um, do you really enjoy these movies? And to answer your question, I really do, and I am a fan, and I really do enjoy these movies. But you know what? This is my number one, guys. I think um, I think y'all know what my number one is. Some of you may be shocked. Some of you may not be shocked, but this is my number one most anticipated film. My number one most anticipated film of fall 2025 is, yep, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is the newest installment of the James Cameron Avatar saga. And yeah, I saw this trailer. Of course, I saw the trailer online, and I saw this trailer before I went to go see the Fantastic Four: First Steps. And let me tell you, this trailer looks fantastic. Visually the movie looks fantastic, of course, and I think this movie could be something interesting to see. And of course, it's going to be huge at the box office. I mean, it's no denying that. Like, it's gonna be big when it's gonna be coming out. And yeah, I am a fan of the Avatar films. I really love the first film, and I love the first Avatar film, and I really love Avatar: The Way of Water. I think they're both great films, and I do agree. I'm well aware they're not perfect. I'll tell you this: they're not perfect. I do agree that the stories in these movies were very convoluted in certain ways, and they're too basic. Like, you heard the stories many times, especially in the first film. Like, it's basically Dances with Wolves, Fern Gully, Pocahontas, yeah, and many others stuff. However, despite that, I think it's a great experience, and visually the movie looks amazing. And visually, it was a game changer of cinema, and I think I still think the first Avatar really holds up very well. And yeah, it has problems, and I do agree it is overhyped, but I still think it's a great movie. I still think it really, after rewatching the movie again, certain scenes, I think the movie still holds up. And Avatar: The Way of Water, I absolutely love Avatar: The Way of Water. I think it's a really great follow up, and definitely a visually beautifully stunning movie. And I do think it definitely deserves to win best visual effects at the Oscars, and because the water effects is some of the best effects I've ever seen put to film this entire year. And yeah, again, like the first, it's not perfect. It has its problems, and I do agree they could have cut at least 10 minutes for a 3 hour runtime. But I still think Way of Water is a excellent movie, and I still need to rewatch that movie again leading up to Fire and Ash. So yeah, of course, this new one right there, seeing the trailers, yeah, even despite it could be similar to the first two films, it looks stunning. Of course, they're going to take to the fire chapter, and yeah, James Cameron and many other filmmakers that are behind this, they've been doing a really great job of creating this world of Avatar, and they created the world of Avatar and make it the world very creative, the world of Pandora, and they did a really great job creating this world. And the world of Pandora looks fantastic, and it's an amazing world building, and yeah, and yeah, I think these movies do looks like it's gonna have a big epic adventure. And yeah, and yeah, this movie is my number one most anticipated film of fall of 2025 as for right now. And I had this movie on my now when I first started do my list, my second list when I did my top 10 most anticipated films of 2025 on Facebook, I have this movie on my number 7. Yeah, because mainly because I'm not really that much of an Avatar mood just for right now, even though I really do like the movies, and I am excited for the new one. I was actually more excited for Superman, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and the Fantastic Four: First Steps, and a few others. But I was still excited for Avatar: Fire and Ash. But after I saw those movies, this is now my most anticipated. And yeah, I never thought I was gonna put this on my number one. I mean, it's not technically my most anticipated film ever. It's not technically my most anticipated film ever in general, and it may not be technically my most anticipated film of the decade or even this year, but it is my most anticipated. So, I'm really curious how I think the movie looks like it's gonna have great moments, great visual effects especially, and I think it's gonna have amazing action sequences, epic scenes here and there, and I do think it has good characters as well. And I'm really curious how the story's gonna go after The Way of Water ended. I won't spoil the movie if you haven't seen The Way of Water, but I am curious about how the story's gonna go after The Way of Water ended. So, of course, there are some shots that actually do look similar to The Way of Water. Funny enough, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to see their adventures of Jake, Sully, and Nateri and their kids, and yeah, one of their family dynamics. I think their family dynamics are really great, and yeah, this movie looks like it's gonna be like a epic film. It looks epic, like yeah, and like I said, it may not be the best. Even though I am curious about the story is gonna go, it may not be the best story that they ever told, but I'm really hoping. I just only wanted a good story, and that's it. I just wanted to have a great movie, and that's all I needed. And I think this movie could have potential to be fantastic, and I think it also might have some really great emotional moments because the first two films do have really good emotional moments here and there. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's now my number one most anticipated film of at the end of this year. Even though this movie, judging from the runtime, even though this movie's gonna be 3 hours long, and it will be the longest movie of this year, and as long as the story is well done, if it's nicely paced throughout, and it has great moments, it got me invested to the story and the characters, then this movie could work, and I think this movie could be great. It won't be for everyone, but I do think the movies could have potential to be great, and because The Way of Water is 3 hours long, and while I do think, as much as I do think it's a great movie, I do agree they could have cut the runtime a little bit more. I think Fire and Ash look like it could be something epic. Of course, it's gonna gross over $1 billion at the box office, and of course, I'm ready to join the adventure of the world of Pandora. So yeah, even despite how it's gonna be a long movie. And this movie might have potential break. Even despite it's gonna be a long movie, I hope it's gonna be great. And this movie have potential to make over $1 billion. Might be the highest grossing movie of this year. And you know what? Even though the movie hasn't come out yet, and if the movie was great and it's the highest grossing movie of this year, I would have been perfectly okay with it. And and I'm really excited for it, and I think. And the new villain, oh my gosh, this new villain looks scary. Now I don't know anything about it. Like I said, it's a very interesting character, so I can't really say what name it is. So, but yeah, of course, Avatar: Fire and Ash is now my number one most anticipated film of fall 2025, and yeah, I'm ready to experience the world of Pandora. All right, guys. That should do it. That is the last top 5 list. That is my top 5 most anticipated films of the fall of 2025. And if you guys really enjoyed this list, and if there's any movies you're looking forward to, let me know in the comments down below. And if you really enjoyed this list, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to all these movies. And this is the last top five list. And right now, I'll do some more update. I'll do some updates maybe later this weekend. So we'll see. And I will continue doing more videos, and I'll be back on YouTube. So I'll see you guys later, and have a good day, guys. And stay safe out there. So yeah, have a good day, guys.